Alright, so what's up, guys? So, I know there's clothes in the background, there's a car seat here, I look a mess, but, and I was going to actually change my outfit, or not my outfit because I don't have my outfit, I was going to actually make myself look like something, but then I decided that this video, as you can tell from the title, is kind of a real deal, serious, let's just talk about it type of video. And since I'm a let's just talk about it type of girl, I decided to let y'all see what I look like on an everyday basis right now. And this is just what I look like. Alright, so I grabbed my little Taylor port here. I know it's kind of strong to be drinking at 4 p.m. But, what the hell else do I have to do? But let's talk about postpartum depression. Because postpartum depression is talked about, but nobody really talks about how to handle it when it does happen. Now, from what I'm understanding, not a lot of mothers don't. Now, from what I'm understanding is not all mothers experience postpartum depression, and it's more common in first-time moms. But for me, in my experience, I definitely did experience postpartum depression, or I definitely am going through postpartum depression. Now, I can't tell if it's actually postpartum or if it's just really bad anxiety, but I know that I'm experiencing and going through something that's not normally myself, and I think that that's the first step, to acknowledge that, okay, there is something going on. The second step for me would be to actually say, I'm not a bad mother because of what I'm going through right now. I'm not a bad mother because I get frustrated with my child crying. I'm not a bad mother because sometimes I want to break. I want to give my baby to her grandmother for the weekend. I want to give my baby to my nurse for the night, or whatever the case may be, or whatever your case may be. You're not a bad mother for feeling like that. And I just want to go on record to say that postpartum depression doesn't happen with just mothers. It also happens with fathers, adoptive parents, step parents. It can happen to anybody. But for me, I'm a first-time mother. I'll be 23 this year in October. My baby girl is 4 months on the 15th of this month, and I'm in a relationship with my child's father, and that in itself is something. I'm not working currently because my child, again, is only 4 months, and again, I'm going through a bit of an issue here when it comes down to anxiety and having to leave her in the care of someone that I don't really know. And the people that I do trust her with have their own lives, so they can't take care of my child while I go to work, because how are their bills going to get paid? And I understand it. But for me, it's more of a thing of those two things were the things that I struggle with the most. So two days ago, I had a really bad anxiety attack. It started because it was getting really close to time for me to go back to work, and I rescheduled that start date because I was not ready, and I knew in my mind that I wasn't ready. My boyfriend was saying, baby, if you're not ready, you do not have to go back to work right now, but in my mind, I had to go back to work because I need to get things that I need. So it started with me just thinking about everything that I had to get done, the time frame that I had to do it, and what happened if I don't do this, what happened if I don't do this. And in the middle of me trying to get that together, she woke up from a 10-second nap. Like, literally, it felt like 10 seconds, and maybe it was about 10, 20 minutes, but it felt like 10 seconds. And I snapped. I put her down gently. I didn't throw her anything. Like, you can cry all you want to. I'm going to go in the room. If I know that there's nothing wrong with her, if I know that she's changed, if I know that she's not hungry, if I know that she has nothing hurting her, no ear infection, none of that, if I know that she's perfectly fine and she just wants to go to sleep, which a mother can tell, I let her cry sometimes. Because if I don't let her cry, what happened 2 days ago, what happened again? So let's just jump back into it. So basically what happened was, I was thinking about that, and she started crying. Tried to soothe her, tried to give her a pacifier, tried to feed her, see if she was hungry. She wasn't hungry. Tried to check her diapers. She wasn't wet or anything. She wasn't constipated or anything like that. So I just did not understand what was going on. So I ended up just putting her down, came in the living room, and when I say I started bawling, like y'all, I really started like bawling. I mean, I cried for an hour and a half. Called my nurse maybe 5 minutes. No, I told my boyfriend when it first started happening, and he's at work, so I didn't really fault him, but he didn't really answer the phone for me or text me back fast enough. So I called my nurse, and which is a personal nurse for me, and she heard what was going on. She heard me crying, and she was like, "I'm coming over." So she came over. She got the baby for a little while, and she was talking to me. And she was telling me, you know, you're having the normal breakdown that every mother has around this point. You know, baby's getting a little bit more active, and staying up longer, sleeping shorter, and she basically just explained to me that it was normal, everything that I was feeling, and I understood that, but everything else that I was dealing with and had to deal with was just a bit too much for me. So at that moment, she told me that she would help me out. Excuse me, and she did. I can't say how, but she did. And I got sleep that night. I took some Ambien, which was prescribed to me, and I went to sleep. I slept that whole night. Woke up the next morning, got the baby, and it was wonderful for that night. And I think that that is what I needed. So I just came on here really short, really quickly to say that postpartum depression. All right, so my little sister called me. So basically, like I was saying, postpartum depression is real. Um, yeah, postpartum depression is real, y'all. It's normal. It's natural. It's bound to happen. I really wanted to make a video so that people know that it's okay to have those breakdowns. It's okay to feel frustrated and irritated, and sometimes it's okay to feel alone. Like, it's okay. Whatever you're feeling, my grandmother always told me, you're entitled to whatever you're feeling, whether that be something that people agree with or something they don't agree with. You're entitled to how you feel. And I wholeheartedly believe that, and I wholeheartedly stand by it. Like, if my grandmother never taught me anything else in life, that's one thing that she always taught me. I am entitled to how I feel. And the third thing that I want everybody to know about postpartum depression is that you really have to talk about it. You have to, if you have a spouse, talk to your spouse about it, because I wasn't talking to mine about it, and I thought that it was because he wasn't going to get it. I'm getting a little emotional. I thought it was because he wasn't going to understand, and he wasn't going to get it, and it was just going to be like talking to a brick wall. And maybe he didn't understand it fully because he's not a mother, but I'll be damned if he wasn't very, very supportive. From, even though it was just 2 days ago, I'll be damned if he wasn't very, very supportive of everything that I'm going through. And I really do appreciate it. If you can't talk to your spouse, you have a mom. If you don't have a mom alive, you have friends, you have family. Like, my friend Ashley has been my number one supporter throughout my whole, not my pregnancy, because we actually weren't speaking during my pregnancy, Ashley, but after I had my baby and when I started going through things, she's the number one person that I call. I'm the number one person she calls with everything she's going through. She's the number one person I call with everything I'm going through, and Ashley has been there tenfold through every single issue, giving me her honest opinion and how she feels about things and what I should do and things like that. Sometimes just to listen. All you need is a circle of people who will literally just listen to you. Not even a circle of people. If you have just one or two people, you just need those two to really listen to you and really, really understand and explain to you that it's not your fault. You're a mother. You're a new mother. Things are going to happen. Things are going to feel a certain way. You're going to feel awkward. You're going to feel a way that you really can't explain. Like, that's really what it started out as. I was irritable. I was just tired all the time. And I just could not express what was going on. So I was taking it out of my boyfriend or whoever else by being very irritable. Just anything he did just irritated the hell out of me. And it was just crazy because what did he do to deserve that? You get what I'm saying? What did he really do to deserve that? First thing to take on postpartum depression would be to realize that you do have a problem. It could happen to you. And the second thing would be to realize that it's not your fault. It's nothing that you did in particular to put you in a situation that you are in. It's nothing that you did. I mean, it's just natural. The third thing would be to realize that you have to talk. You have to talk to people. You have to get those emotions and those pent-up aggressions out of you if you want to be successful in getting through postpartum depression. When you feel like you can't take it, the baby's crying and you're just going crazy, put that baby down in a safe place and go about your business. Don't leave the house. Leave the room. Don't leave the house. Don't leave the baby by themselves, Lord. But go about your business for 5 minutes. I can't do 5 minutes because I don't like to hear her cry. But just give yourself a little bit of time to regroup. Just get it together, because at the end of the day, and what I had to realize is that baby needs you more than anything in this world. You're literally like, they're literally dependent on you to change their diaper. They're literally dependent on you to feed them. They're literally dependent on you to make them happy, to smile, to play, to laugh, to joke. They're literally dependent on you for every single thing in their life. And as a mother, that can be hard. Like, I have this little human being that I have to take care of, and they can't talk to me and tell me what's wrong, and I have to figure it out. And sometimes it comes natural, but other times you just don't know what's wrong. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. It is nothing that you did, and it can be controlled. Okay? If it happens, follow those 3 steps. Realize that you have something going on with you. Realize that basically that there is an issue. Number 2 is realize that it's not your fault. It's nothing that you did. And number 3, talk about it. Get it out. Talk about it. Get it out. That is, I can't stress that enough. You have to talk about it. You have to get it out. That is the only way that you're going to get through it. Because keeping it in here, keeping it in your heart, what is that really going to do besides make you up in the long run? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't suppress it. You have to let that out. And coming from somebody who dealt with it 2 days ago and is still dealing with it, because I got frustrated today with her crying. But I realized that I'm her mother. Above all things, above me being myself, above me being mommy, I'm her mother. First and foremost, that is my child. She needs me. I need her. We're like this. I'm sure all moms feel the same way. Your child needs you and you need them. So at the end of the day, you have to get that under control so that it can be done. And also, just a side note, I know a lot of people don't agree with medication and things like that. I'm going to talk to them about getting something for anxiety, because at the end of the day, I know myself, and I know that those 3 things are good for me. But those 3 things that we talked about is not going to be enough, because I suppressed it for 4 months. I started feeling postpartum depression maybe the first 2-3 weeks, or anxiety rather, and I never really said anything about it. Never really said anything to anybody. My mom asked me if I was going through postpartum, and I told her no, straight to her face, like, because maybe I didn't know what it was, but now that I know, it's so heavy on me that I have to get some extra help from my doctor. And it doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you anything other than who you are. That doesn't make me anything other than mommy. I'm going to be me regardless. I'm going to be happy. It's not like I'm sad all the time, but I'm sad enough to where I need to get it together. Okay, so basically what I just want you ladies, what I want you mamianas to know is that it's not your fault. And postpartum is real. And it's totally okay to get help. It's totally okay to talk about it. It's totally okay. It's okay. It's okay. So get that help. Let's go through the 3 steps one more time. Number 1, make sure that you understand what is going on with you, what's going on with your body, what's going on in your mind. Secondly, realize that it's not anything that you did wrong. Third, is simply know that you have to talk about it. And my baby is crying. So with that, I'll be going, and y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day.